Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain, back for some more Dungeons and Dragons Online. So for this quest here, these are the Stormhorn's chain. The chain giver is Kara. They will tell you what order to pick up the chain in. The first quest here is from Neville. Just do a quick share. Now the quests themselves are all outside here in the Slayer, and are fairly easy to get to as long as you have those waypoint markers. So the first quest, as you can see, is directly off to our right, and we just kind of hug this wall here. And there we go. Alright. So this one here is a lot of fun and a little bit longer of these quests out here. Not the longest one, that actually goes to the last part here. So the first thing we're going to do is get a hireling going, just in case it is needed. And then we're going to go ahead and cast our buffs. Once you're done that, we're going to want to head and talk to Aloevain. Now if you remember him, he was the same individual from High Road and from Wayloon, so this is just a continuation of those chains, just storyline wise. So first thing is, he can't find his journal, which is located right over here. It's always in this position. Now, once you touch it, you do get an optional to find the lost pages of his tome, which will be kind of random, kind of not. They do have specific, obviously, locations, but they are strewn randomly throughout the quest. But they will be along the main path line, not down at really any of the optional paths. But again, there are a couple that may be there. So the first thing that we need to do is simply just defeat the guys here. So you have a kind of a horde of randos. You want to take them out. Once the random guys are gone, the two named casters, they're just gonna kind of whatever, and they're gonna take off. Yeah.
As if I would waste my time. The other wizard, these woods are
so once they're done, we can proceed east and just push on forward. Now as you're going, do keep your eye open, as some of the traps are actually going to be a kind of a pitfall trap in the floor. Now those pitfall traps, once activated, cannot be disarmed. So if you are going for that full trap bonus, you will just not be able to do that if too many of those get triggered. All the while, I do recommend pushing the Q and E function, just to, again, search for those optional pages. So the breakaway floors are going to look very much like this here, which does seem this one is not. Alright, so we got a journal page.
The Netherese and I have been playing a game of cat and mouse since I stole their nails.
Alright, so we're just again gonna continue. Now, whenever you see large groups of these breakables, there is always a spell word attributed to them. So just careful before you go running up, if again you want to get that full trap bonus. Oh, we got some pressure plates. Now these pressure plates will toss giant nets, which both capture you and enemies. Now they are an AoE net, so just keep that in mind. Journal. So again, another location where it can be a pitfall trap. Alright, so at this point, our path does diverge. Now, we're going to head down the right path, which will lead us to an optional. And here he is right here. So first again, he asks us for some help. Now we can head to the south. There can often be a journal page in here. So again, I did mention that it's not usually down the optional paths, but again, you can find them here. And then to the north, right here, is the optional that he's asking you to do to help clear out his camp. So again, we got a bunch of breakables, which means there are going to be some traps, which is that spell word trap there as well. And then we also get a lovely little chest for the optional here, which, as you can see, can drop some named items, which is the Magister Scepter, as well as the Nether Orb there. We got both of them. Now, once we're done the optional there, all that's left to do is head back out, and you want to talk to Harag to actually get the experience there.
You have given me back my home.
Alright, so at this point we're going to head back to the main path, and we're going to head off to the left and just continue through. Now, every now and then you will get these magical barriers. To drop them, you just need to kill everything. And there we go.
My first discovery. An army of giants, orcs, and other monstrous creatures.
So again, same thing here.
More magic barrier.
And again, more piles of breakables, so another spell word. Now, once we head in just a little bit further, as you'll notice, we do have some enemies both on the ledge above and below. Or on the ledge above and then below as well. Now, I do recommend killing them before going too far into this room, if at all possible, as the giant himself doesn't actually activate until we go in. I kind of approach him there. So once you have that, let's go ahead and grab our spell ward. And then you're going to want to approach him. He'll become active. As you see, he does have a decent amount of hit points. And on epic, he can be a little bit rough. But if you happen to have the aggro, there's a nice little trick. And that is to, if you hop up and down the path here, he will run back and forth over and over. So if he hit us down there, as you see, he's running around. And if we wanted, we can just hop right back up that hill, forcing him to, again, run all the way around. It's an easy way to keep him out of his aggro range. But obviously, if you have any melees in your party, they may not be too happy with you. From here, we're going to head further west, looping around to go north. Now again, we can have one of those kind of hidden things right here, pitfalls. Seems we don't. All we do is have a trap chest. Now if we stop to open the chest, it's gonna kind of spring in an ambush. But at least they gave us an actual chest, so. Mind you, best kind of ambush is actual bait, so. Alright, so we do have some guys that were set to come up behind us. Now, as this is possibly a pitfall trap, obviously we didn't get it this time. You'll notice that they had issues kind of pathing to us. So that'll often happen and can be used to your advantage. Alright, from here, again, we're going to want to head back into a giant cave. And again, we have two directions to go. Now, if we choose to continue into the cave here, which is off to the left or south, it's going to bring into another optional here, telling us to leave, thinking we are Netheries. Obviously, we are not, but they don't really seem to care. So this one here, again, possible traps there, and typically we'll have some pressure plate traps here, and as you're doing that, you're going to get us kind of owlbears heading from both sides. Alright, so as you'll notice here, we do still have one of the event champions going on. That is because, again, for us, it is still just day 5. So yeah, that there was what happens. That net that went over Zebub, that is exactly what happens when you step on those pressure plates. It really puts you, well, in a very prone position. Now at the back of this room here, we will have a couple more owlbears and then a named druid. And yeah, just take him out. And there you get your XP. Now again, the chest can contain those named items that we had looted previously, as well as a gray prismatic cloak. So with the prismatic cloaks, each one is attuned to an element. So gray is sonic, red is fire, so on, so forth. Alright. So now at this point we do want to exit, kind of get back to that main path, so that we can continue heading north. So you also notice this one here didn't actually have any of those journal pages. Though we may have actually missed one. Alright, looks like again we have one of those chests that are gonna spring into an oh so unsuspecting ambush. This time it seems the ambush was good enough. Yes, they will come from both in front and then send in assassins from behind. Similar to the last chest there, though this time they didn't seem to get stuck up on the fact that this is a possible pitfall trap. However, it does seem that our hireling kind of fell through the pitfall trap somehow. Alright, at this point we are nearing the end. So here's our kind of our last shrine before the big bad boss. Some breakables and a nice little journal page. Now at this point there is only one more location that will spawn a journal page if you haven't gotten them already. And that's actually just here around the corner. Right around here. So we didn't miss any. As you can see, it's worth 2,000. In Epic, it's worth quite a bit more, and totally worth the extra effort to look for them. Now, at this point, we are at the end fight. Now, the way this end fight works is there is our boss in the center. They have a shield. Now, on the left and right, we do have these orbs. What we want to do is actually destroy these orbs. Now, if you are a melee, these orbs may cause a, as you'll see that one kind of just exploded, it will cause a massive kind of a knockback effect on it. So you do just gotta watch out, as it may throw you across the map. And we do have enemies on both sides. And once you drop down both of the orbs, the individual's barrier, which is Shale, her barrier goes down, or Shay, and we can actually fight her. Now once we do a little bit of damage, she's going to do her trick again, throw up some barriers. Again, we got to break the orbs. And again, beat on her there until that drops. Now the third time here There's still enemies up at these orbs. As you can see, they're just a little bit harder to see. They are blackguards and assassins. So again, dropping that will kind of summon her in. Now, once she drops this time, she is going to summon in her pet dragon. Now, it does also toss up the orbs on either side. However, you don't actually need to break them this time. All you need to do is drop the pseudo dragon, and that will drop her barrier, allowing you to finish off the job and complete the quest. Now at the end of this one, we do have 2 loot chests, which again can drop some named items. But honestly, I don't recommend re-rolling these loot chests, as overall it's just not worth it. Now, at the far back of this room, there is an exit out that you can kind of recall. But honestly, it takes a lot longer to run there than it does to actually just hit the recall button and head out. So from here, we can head off to the next quest, or recall and turn in. So thank you guys all for watching. It's been a blast, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one all.